We've been developing this idea of a creative learning academy over the last 18 months or so, and been particularly interested in looking at how we take musicians, artists, writers, improv artists and comedians and draw them into the creative process to look at how we can learn from creative people and then transfer some of that to the research world and look at how we can make the research world a much more free and open place. I did an improv workshop quite a few years ago. Found it really scary, but very challenging, but also really interesting. And on that day, spent the day thinking, God, this is really interesting. There's things I can take from this and apply in other areas and in other ways. If we bring comedy to it, it's such an unusual thing to bring to the dry world of research. There's got to be something interesting that will come out of that. But it really was a bit like flying a kite and just seeing what happens. I wasn't not come into this with any preconceived ideas.
One, two, three.
What are you doing it? Something completely different.
Wash and talk.
Right. Nothing of movement.
Cheers down to our toes.
And it's the X Factor.
The X Factor.
Well, I'm Public Engagement Lead for the School of Sport and Exercise, and I think it's really important that the public can see the impact of the research that we do, not only with sport performers but also in terms of general health and well-being. And everybody likes comedy, and it just seemed a natural mix to blend the two and see what we came up with today.
You go around and then stroke the hedgehog.
Well, it was certainly a different approach, but when we thought about it, we were quite excited because a lot of things that we do lend ourselves to a visual medium, being very active and portraying some very important yet in some ways simple messages, so we thought comedy was a real good vehicle to do that.
But we just, two groups have tried to become one. No laughing, please, no enjoying yourself. Let's have a look.
I think it's quite novel for our research group. It's never something we've done before, but it was appealing to us because of that. And I think in our area of work, some of the messages we're trying to get across can be quite serious, and some of the messages have been heard quite a lot through the media and in public health. So trying to give a different spin to our messages we thought could be a good way to try and communicate those messages. So it was really appealing to our group. Within our area of work there's lots of public health messages we might want to portray, but we thought we'd keep it quite simple with the message of moving more and sitting less, so around promoting physical activity and reducing the amount of time that we sit down on a day-to-day basis, because we know they're negative for our health. So we try to keep it simple during the day, keep it quite practical, thinking about what the guidelines are for our activity and how we can actually achieve those guidelines. And a key element of that was the family involvement and the family as a reinforcement for promoting positive behaviours, and particularly with the children involved today, using the idea of children as these agents of change, so they can look to influence the behaviours of the entire family, which is important.
They are all fabulous, but don't think just because you put a child in the air to think you're point.
So our day-to-day work in terms of teaching and research and administration, it was nice to come here today and think about all of those roles, but in a different way through comedy. And we've certainly seen a different side to some of the people in our team. I'm sure we'll be having a laugh about it when we get back to the office next week.
No, usually I think in a university environment things are quite formal and traditional in the way that they're done, but this has been a really fun day. It's been a great experience, and it's allowed us to maybe express some of our ideas in a different way, and I think we're all very excited about how they'll come over in the video.
appeal to everybody, the young, the old, those in the research community who can perhaps see how they can translate their research messages in a different way. I know certainly the children are looking forward to it as well, so I'm sure it'll get played plenty of times when we get home.
I think we all enjoyed the little games that we played. It allowed for a lot of good interaction. We've had a lot of laughs together, and I think we've all seen as a group a different maybe side to each other that maybe we don't always see in the kind of office environment. And it's been great to work with you guys as well, because it's maybe given us a different maybe feel for how we can approach our work in the future.